people, here we are, IMI Radio, Miguel on the radio, the 14th of January 2026, the first show of the year. Happy New Year, beautiful people. Here we are at IMI Radio, the home of migrants, the home of artists, the voices of internationals in Poland, in Warsaw, Poland. We are in the city center. It's cold, it's snowing outside. It is... I don't know if you're a fan of Stranger Things. It looks like the upside down outside, but it's magical. It's whimsical. It's beautiful. We love the winter, don't we? The winter may be too long though. The winter, it's overstaying its welcome. The winter, where is the sun? I forgot last time I saw the sun, and it's very easy to complain about the weather in Poland, but it's impossible not to. We wish the sun to come back eventually. We hope the sun to come back eventually. We are happy. We are connected. We are at IMI Radio. I'm Miguel, your host, and I'm not by myself. This time, I have good company. I'm here with Vin.
Vin is great.
Vin. Welcome to the show. Welcome to IMI Radio.
Thank you for having me.
As you can see, I'm great with names. I usually meet people and a few seconds after there's something I usually meet people a few seconds after I don't know their names. I need to repeat 1,000 times. Vin. I'm with Vin, and it's not Van Diesel. It's Vin. Vin, say hello to everybody that is listening to us.
Hello to everyone in Warsaw, Poland, and from wherever you're listening from. It's a pleasure to be here. Vinayak is my full name, but yes, Vinny, Vici. I can go by all of these things.
Fantastic. Yes, me too. We're flexible with names. People call me Miguel in Poland, Michał. But if you want, you can call me Pablo. I'm flexible. And Vin, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. I know that you're a musician, pianist. You live in Warsaw. You do your own compositions. You're creating magic, and it's so nice to have a creative, an artist, a person that dare to express themselves through different mediums, through theater, through rock and roll, through the piano, through instruments, through comedy, through paintings and visual arts. You are a pianist. How did the music arrive in your life, my friend?
Oh, music itself. Well, happy to say that in my family, it's from day one, it's been a part of my life. And to be honest, not only classical music, but, we were influenced by, classic rock, heavy metal, great music from 70s, 80s, and onwards. So, just very happy to say that music in our family was a very important part of our life.
Tell us about your family. So, you are an international. You are a migrant.
Yes.
You are in Poland for how long?
So, I've been in Warsaw, Poland for 6 years now.
Wow.
It's been an incredible journey.
Fantastic. What brought you here?
The music of Chopin, at the end of the day, is the one and only reason.
Oh, wow. Chopin's music. Fantastic. You as a musician, as a you love many genres. You said that you grew up and you're influenced by music, and music have a special place in your heart, and so you came to study music. You came to be closer to Chopin.
Yeah, I came really for self-development more than anything else. And, you know, for many years now, since training as a classical pianist, Chopin always had a special place in my heart. And, you know, in 2019, you know, prior to pandemic, you know, it just felt like the perfect timing. It really felt like stars aligned. I made a decision that I wanted to be closer to Chopin, to his roots, where he grew up, where he started his education. And, you know, above all, I always thought and still think to this day that it's the most beautiful music in the world.
Oh, wow. And so you study classical music. You are a trained musician. How was that experience? Where did you study? And how did you choose the path of music in your life?
Yeah, so it's first, I think it's important to state, you know, my parents are originally from India. However, my brother and I, we grew up in the States, in Louisiana. And yeah, I mean, I did my education in Lafayette, Louisiana, my bachelor's and master's. And, you know, the interesting fact is that I was not always passionate about classical music. You know, as a young child, it was actually about rock and roll. It was about pop music. It was about, completely different genre of music altogether. And somehow down the line, you know, around, I would say the age of 12 or 13, you know, I heard certain compositions. Of course, I took music classes in school, and from Beethoven to Mozart, and of course, eventually Chopin, something just clicked. And, you know, I felt, you know, this is something that I want to pursue long term. And this is something I want to see all the way through.
From all the instruments, from all the music genres, from all possibilities, that music, that style, that path was the one that clicked with you the most. And since your studies, you developed this admiration, this respect, this curiosity towards Chopin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what from the idea to come to Poland, from the intention to be here in Warsaw, finishing your studies. So how did it come to fruition?
Yeah, I think you know, having stated that, you know, I grew up in Lafayette, Louisiana, I think for every person at some point in their life, they feel they need some kind of change. And as I mentioned, I thought it was just the perfect moment. After I finished my master's, I felt I needed something new. Or I felt rather I was, you know, lacking something. And, you know, at that point, you know, around, let's say 2017, 2018, you know, I really felt, you know, I don't have enough Chopin in my life. And I just felt something drastic was actually necessary, not to move just to a different city, not to a different state, but, you know, really my heart led me to Warsaw. And even actually I was quite stubborn about where in Poland I wanted to be. I did not want to settle for, you know, even beautiful cities like Gdańsk or Krakow or Wrocław, which are, you know, really gems as well. But Warsaw was always the goal. And yeah, I set myself on that track, and 2019 was a year where I just worked towards that, to find work here, to apply for residency, carta pobytu, and not to make it just a 2 or 3 month holiday for myself, but really a long-term endeavor.
Without ever being here before?
Without ever being here. Europe, of course, I have visited. I've had experience in Italy. I, took part in a study abroad program in Florence, years prior. So, of course, that experience definitely helped me. So I had some understanding, and, happy to say in our family, we have family all over the world, in Canada, China, Singapore, India. So we're definitely not strangers to traveling. So it made the move easier at the end of the day.
Oh, wow. All from that spark, all from that admiration, from that became a passion, that all that made this transition and gave you the because you need this courage to just leave your reality, your world, your country, your family behind, and just pursue this uncertain path. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nothing but respect for these kind of endeavors. And what about expectation, reality? How would you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I told myself when I moved to Warsaw, or rather before I moved, that I wasn't going to put a huge amount of pressure on myself, because in the artistic world, we already live with so much pressure. I think we would be kind of lying to ourselves if we said we weren't fighting for the spotlight, we weren't fighting for a chance to perform, and to get our voice heard at the end of the day. And going through my bachelor's, going through my master's, and as like many musicians and artists of any discipline, they understand the amount of competition and the reality that not every person gets their chance, no matter how talented or how hardworking. And it's just a cruel industry. It's a cruel, tough, I would say, more than cruel at the end of the day. Just an extremely tough industry to be in. And I think you just have to be patient. You have to be resilient. And even now, more than ever, I'm learning to be kinder to myself. That I'm doing it for reasons that are above me at the end of the day. And that is something I don't think I wouldn't have come to that conclusion had I stayed back in the US. So I think I really owe that sort of, epiphany from being here in Warsaw.
Wow. And how have the journey, the 6 years, how did Poland treat you so far?
I could say I'm blessed beyond belief, really, and that's from the bottom of my heart. I've met the most beautiful people here. I play for the Methodist Church of Warsaw, and even though I follow a different religion, they open their hearts to me, and I have such a deep relationship and deep connection with them, and they are very much an extended family for me now. And, I'm also an English teacher here in Warsaw, so I could say that, my students, are even more than just friends to me. It's just one big family here in Warsaw. And I think I'm just extremely lucky to have met the right people who have genuinely cared for me and have also supported me with everything that I've wanted to do, and have encouraged me to keep going. Even if there are moments, as every artist, you have down moments, you lack motivation from time to time. And, this country, this city really has, kept me going.
Fen, looking back for your younger self, the Vin that was still finishing his studies, in back in the US, was still maybe uncertain about his future or the path that he should take. What advice would you give to yourself back in the US before choosing to come to Poland?
Had I known then what I do now, before even the thought of Poland coming to my mind, first and foremost would be, number one, just to be kinder to myself. That was one of the biggest things. I've always been the type of person to always go 100%, but at the same time, maybe to put too much pressure on myself. So if there's anything I could tell my old self, even 15 years ago, would be, to learn to let go more. To be kinder to myself, and maybe even to be open to different things, which I was not really that open back then. And, I was kind of one-track minded. And I think to an extent, you need to be, right, in such a profession, whether it's music, art, sports, that dedication needs to be there. But now I also understand that, other things in life happen too. And other experiences shape us, who we are, and in fact, influence us and affect how we are as artists too. So I would tell myself, I would have told myself to be a lot more open to different experiences, to say yes to things that may have scared me at that time.
Yes, Vin. I want to know more. Okay, you study music. You have this music background, and of course, when you study music, the composition is part of the package, perhaps. But how the transition from being a student, from studying musicians like Chopin and Beethoven and everything, to creating your own sounds and finding your voice. How did that come to be?
Well, so speaking of, being sort of closed back then and being less open to new ideas, I could tell you I was very stubborn during, my bachelor's and master's, as I really didn't compose during that time. I focused solely on being a classical musician, reading what's on the page, trying to replicate and, of course, show my own colors through someone else's music at the end of the day. And really at that time, that was the most important thing for me. I would have never thought that, maybe I could dabble, maybe I could try my hand at composition. To be honest, that only came when I arrived here.
Oh, wow.
That only came when I arrived here. And that's why I will continuously say I owe so much to Warsaw, to Poland, and not only because I decided to continue my journey as a musician, but as an English teacher here, the people that I've met, I think it just opened me up in ways I thought I would never open up. And I think different creative juices really started flowing. Even from 2020, when pandemic hit, I could say I had the time to really think about some different aspects of myself as a musician, not only as one who plays Chopin music or other classical composers, but playing with my own ideas, improvising a little bit, because that's something I'm not totally comfortable with. I would still say till this day, I don't consider myself a great improviser. But studying so much music, I wanted to just try it out. And I would say it's been a really, fruitful journey for me as a composer here in Poland.
Wow. And looking back in your first composition, and do you see the same the motifs changing, developing, the themes? Do you see the also the inspiration, the ideas, what moves the music? How do you see that changing from looking back at your first composition to what you are working at the moment?
Yeah, I would say, because it was about roughly 5 years ago now, where, let's say, I composed my first official piece. And I think, one thing I've always known about myself as a musician is I've always craved melody. And I've always craved beautiful melody above anything else. And so whatever I decided to approach in terms of a pattern or a phrase, I knew it needed to have some emotional content, more than rhythmic. It always needed flow. And I took ideas. Absolutely, I took ideas from the compositions of Chopin and, studying other composers as well. I definitely borrowed elements and tried to, implement that with my own patterns. And I could say that maybe I started in a very simplistic way, with let's say, a very simple configuration or pattern, because perhaps I thought it was just safe, to as where these days I try to actually think less, and I try to let things develop a little bit more organically. Of course, it's always good to have, an idea, a motive, right? But I could say these days, the best ideas are the ones that have not been forced, something that I let flow naturally. I just sort of let my fingers take over. I try not to think about rules so much, and explore different nuances within the piano, because that is the beautiful thing about the piano. It's such a huge range. The full-size keyboard, right? 88 keys. You have your dark tones, you have your lighter tones, and Yeah, I would say I'm less afraid these days to play with different ideas. Let's say 5 years ago, I was a little stricter with myself. I was doing things very safely. So now I'm just learning to, break those barriers.
Breaking the rules. Yes. Yes, sometimes we do have to break all the rules. Sometimes the world around us, our lives, they influence us so strongly that we have to break the rules in art for expression, for the sake of sending our message out there. And celebrating Chopin, we are going to listen to one of Van's favorite. We're gonna listen to Chopin Nocturne Opus 9, Opus 9 number 2. This is for all the listeners, and we're going to be back after this song. So don't go anywhere and enjoy Chopin for you at IMI Radio. We'll be right back. yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That was a classic to our listeners. From IMI Radio to the world. That was Chopin. And we're back. We're back. IMI Radio, Miguel on the radio. I'm here with Van. Vin, tell us, please. What are you listening to at the moment? What's on your Spotify playlist?
In the last year or so, of course, there is always a classical playlist, but film scores, I think, have been really at the top. Everything from Hans Zimmer to John Williams, Ennio Morricone, and Danny Elfman. I'm not a stranger to my superhero movies either, and just have a real passion for some of those scores. So a lot of film scores on my Spotify playlist.
Very cool. What's that movie score that brings you this nostalgia? That the one that first resonated with you?
There are two scores. As my friends know, as the closest people back in the US and now in Poland as well know, I am the biggest Batman fan there is.
Oh, wow.
So from Tim Burton's Batman to Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight, and those two scores, right? And back in 1989, Tim Burton's Batman, Danny Elfman wrote the score for Batman.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, it's just iconic. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then some years later, Christopher Nolan had his take on the Batman trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy, and Hans Zimmer came in with, I would say, equally amazing score. So that is constantly ringing on my Spotify playlist.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Yes, absolutely. Those those scores that in the end of the movie or between the middle, it just unites, bonds everything together, and creates this cinematic experience. It's just absolutely movie scores. Movie scores are underappreciated. I think we should listen more to movie scores.
And then you get, as a composer now myself, I gain more insights on what a composer is doing, through image, and vice versa. I think as a film director, they gain clarity what their image looks like through the music. So I think just equally important, but it's definitely shaped me as well. Of course, classical music is there, but these are very emotional scores as well. Even from movies like Rocky Balboa, right?
Yeah.
Something that's motivating to tear-jerking, right? So when I'm not listening to Chopin or any of the classical composers, film scores are at the top of my list.
Wow, fantastic! Yeah, if I have a nostalgic memory from movie scores, it's absolutely the end of Jurassic Park. The score of Jurassic Park is just it's there. It's resonating, unforgettable. The melody, the fantastic movie scores. So as a cinema lover myself, I also have a very passion to some of these movie scores. Some of my favorites. What projects are you working at the moment? What are you doing?
I would say at the moment, the most relevant project, has to do with my own personal compositions. And in the about the last year or so, this has been Rzeka Chopina, which is the river of Chopin. And this is a work that is not finished yet. It's sort of open-ended, but I have already begun presenting parts of it during my concerts, whether it's at the Chopin Salon here or at the Methodist Church on Plac Bavicella. So definitely the audience is beginning to listen to my own compositions, to this river. And it's been, I would say, just a really, really just a nice project for me. The River of Chopin is essentially a set of works that not only celebrates the melodies of Chopin, but of other composers, where I am, in fact, infusing their melodies with my own music. And the reason it being a river is there is a constant flow of water, and sometimes a flow with a little more stress, sometimes a little more relaxed. Sometimes there can be a storm within that, but no matter what, a melody of Chopin speaks, a melody of another composer, for example, Schubert, Bach, Beethoven. This has been, it's been an exciting project. I've been really, really happy and, just overjoyed with the response that I get from my compositions too. Because of course I am including them with a program of Chopin pieces as well. So that's, sometimes I think about that and, debate whether are these worthy enough to be in the same hour, in the same program with the music of Chopin. But when I hear such positive responses after the concerts, it's definitely given me the motivation to continue extending this river, because this river is currently flowing.
Wow, that's very interesting. So where can people in Warsaw catch you live?
So at the moment, at the Chopin Salon, of course, on Smolna 14. This is the Chopin B&B. This is a boutique. It's a hotel. Right down the road here, near Nowy Świat, of course, near the palm tree. So these are concerts that happen daily. There's a different pianist every night. So of course, I do highly recommend people who have not attended a Chopin concert. It is an absolutely worthwhile experience. It is a candlelight evening. You will be given a glass of wine, and it's just such a beautiful, intimate atmosphere. I'm happy to say I do have 2 more concerts this month, January 23rd and 27th, both at 7 p.m. So for all of those out there who are interested, not only in the music of Chopin, but if they would like to hear the River of Chopin, I warmly invite everyone to those 2 concerts.
Oh, wow. And what about the work that you do at the church?
The work at the church, I'm there every Sunday, 11 a.m. We have services there. And of course, that's not a Chopin program being presented during the services itself, but for those wanting to come and really to meet a beautiful community, and they really are a beautiful community, then I invite them every Sunday, 11 a.m. Plac Bavicella. This is Mokotowska 12 on the first floor. And then from time to time, I organize free events on Plac Bavicella as well, because it is connected to the Methodist Language College, and well, actually, in fact, the first and oldest English language college in Warsaw. It's celebrated 100 plus years now. So there, they have a grand piano. I do organize concerts, and so many people can catch free events happening there as well.
Wow, fantastic. What about online? If someone wants to tune into your music, to listen to your compositions, are they on available on Spotify or have a website?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get myself, I'm not one to really speak openly about my New Year's resolutions, but if I just have any goals moving forward is to really start putting out more content on Spotify. So I do have just a few compositions, but in fact, one that belongs to the River of Chopin does exist on Spotify. So if you do type in my name, my full name, you will be able to find that recording on Spotify. And of course, I do have my YouTube channel as well.
All right. Yes. And so Spotify, YouTube channel, maybe Instagram.
Instagram, absolutely. Facebook.
Yeah, you're there. You are on social media. People can find you. So if you are listening to this show, this program, this Miguel on the Radio is going to be around. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be available on Spotify as well. So if you are listening, just tune in to an artist in Warsaw following his dream and performing and making beautiful music, beautiful compositions. I'm really I think we were starting the year in the best foot possible. We are starting the year in the right track. I'm so happy to have you here, Vin, as a guest.
Thank you so much, Miguel. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, I one question. If we talked about the Vin from 15 years ago, what about the Vin from the future? So you mentioned the intention, the New Year's resolution of putting, more content out there. I really like the experience that you mentioned about Chopin River of combining you, adding you as an artist to your Chopin presentations and because that's what we should do. We have our voice. We blend.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think. Of course. To each its own at the end of the day. But I truly believe. We are all artists, and we all also deserve the chance and the opportunity to showcase what we can do from our own heart. And of course it is beautiful, and I continue presenting Chopin works. But no, it's been a joy and a privilege to share my own original works alongside Chopin.
And if you have a bigger goal, a dream, if you have something that you think about from time to time, that you wish you could accomplish, and it can be something short term, it can be something long term. What would you like to do, Vin? What is as an artist, where would you like to go?
That's a loaded question. Yeah, if I had to think about short-term goals, my long-term goals. Well, as important as short-term goals are, I think it's still in my mind. It's a little easier to swallow a long-term goal. I would just say in general to be even more open, because there are still barriers that I need to break, and to be even braver, even more fearless, and to concertize and to find opportunities to share my music with an even larger audience. I think that would be my primary goal at this moment.
Yes. Yes. We want and we wish your goal to accomplish. We wish you to accomplish your goal. Vin, I hope that throughout the year, the next years, you reach a much bigger audience, and more people are able to listen to your music. And maybe why not? I've seen if you have this if you like listening to film scores, why not maybe one day composing for a movie, making the soundtrack of a short film or a long film, and having you there, bonding all together, image and song.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So I will start manifesting now.
Let's go. Yes, this is a show about dreams as well. We talk about things that maybe they may seem far away from our reach. They may seem unreachable, perhaps. But when you talk about it and we discuss and we think and we reflect, they are not that far away from reality. Maybe they are around the corner. We never know. The world is spinning around, and we may end up there. Things may show up, and this is the beautiful thing about dreaming. Vin, let's listen to one song and then we'll come back to close the show. This song is for you, the listeners of IMI Radio 2026, January 14th. We're starting the year in the right foot. We are full of positivity, bringing inspiration to you, our listeners. Hopefully, bringing good energy, good vibes, sharing ideas and stories about people, because that's how we learn. How we learn from other people. We learn from talking and listening and connecting. So this song goes to connection. We'll be right back.
That glowed in the dark. it. 'Cause every time it rains, you're here in my head, like the sun coming out. Ooh, I just know that something good is gonna happen. I don't know when, but just saying it could even make it every time it rains, you're here in my head, like the sun coming out, like your sun's coming out. Ooh, I just know that something good is gonna happen. I don't know when, but just saying it could even make it just saying it could even make it Your sun's coming out. Your sun's coming out.
Yes. This was the show. This is it, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll be back next Wednesday, always at 5 o'clock here at IMI Radio. It was a pleasure, a great start of the year. And wishing you well. Have a great week. I was here with Van today. And next week, who knows? A surprise. I hope to catch you then. Have a great week. Bye-bye. Do widzenia, dobranoc. Thank you so much. Ciao.